Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Board of Commissioners, City of Bowling Green, Kentucky, regular meeting, City Hall, January 6, 2026 at 4:30 p.m. We're going to begin this evening, and I'll turn it over to Commissioner Carlos Bailey.
First, Happy New Year's to everyone that's here. I'm glad we got to make it through the holidays. It seems like it was short, but at this time, the Board of City Commissioners is honored to welcome Pastor Sam Hunter to offer today's invocation. Pastor Hunter is the founder and lead pastor of Next Level Church, where he co-founded in 2013 alongside his wife and his children at his side. Since its founding, Next Level has grown to nearly 600 members and continues to serve the Bowling Green community to this day. This month, the church also celebrates its 13 years of ministry here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. In addition to his pastoral leadership, Pastor Hunter has also recently launched Hope City Development, Inc., a nonprofit focused on creating meaningful, community-centered impact. He has also expressed, he would like for it to grow and anybody can help. Pastor Hunter, I also give a shout out because you also have another anniversary. He's a member of the Kappa Alpha Psi, which is a part of the Divine Nine. And I believe yesterday or the day before, they just celebrated their 115th anniversary. So Pastor, the floor is yours.
Greetings, everyone. Hi, greetings, Mayor Alcott, Commissioner Bailey, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Hill, and Commissioner Perrigan. I'm excited to be here. I'm thankful for everyone is here today, the public safety, and all of our citizens. At this time, let us pray. Gracious God, at the beginning of this new year, we pause to acknowledge that wisdom, justice, and compassion are gifts that come from you. And we ask that they be present in this chamber today and the weeks and the months to come. We thank you for this city, its people, its promise, and its potential. We thank you for a community filled with resilience, creativity, and for leaders who have accepted the responsibility to serve the public good. Today, we lift up the members of this commission, grant them wisdom when decisions are complex, courage when choices are difficult, and humility to listen well, not simply to respond, but to truly hear. May this chamber be marked by peace, even in moments of disagreement, and by respect that strengthens dialogue rather than silences it. Guard their hearts and their minds as they lead. Renew their energy, sharpen their focus, and remind them that their work has the power to shape lives and open doors of opportunity throughout this community. As this new year unfolds, let there be unity of purpose, clarity of vision, and a shared excitement for what lies ahead. May the work done here inspire confidence, restore hope, and move this city forward together. We commit this meeting, these leaders, and this year into your care. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. God bless you.
Thank you for the invocation. And I'll ask us to turn to the flag as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Commissioner Bailey. Thank you, Pastor Hunter. Happy New Year, everybody. Mr. Meisel, do you have comments at this time?
Want to call the roll first? Or?
Yes.
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner Beasley Brown.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Perrigan. Mayor Alcott.
Here.
Just have a couple, Mayor. If you are in the audience and would like to make public comment, please sign the register in the back corner of the room, and we'll take those up after our regular session, which includes a working session today. Next, I would like to call up Talia Butler to provide some thank yous to our sponsors that have helped us out with some big events this past year, including the recent Lights Up, and I'll hand it off to Talia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. a couple times a year, we like to come and say thank you to everyone who has brought all of our huge downtown events together. And all of the folks that I'm going to mention here this evening are ones who donated to events from August to December of last year. These were all donations to our Better Beachy KY nonprofit. First things first, Fountain Row Friday, the live music that was on the square in the fall, that was put on by Blue Level Productions, Service One Credit Union, Morris Jewelry, Mellow Mushroom, Back Down South, the Simpson Firm, and the Bowling Green Rock Band Academy and Amplify Foundation together. As a matter of fact, new this year, the Rock Band Academy featured a different student before each of the concerts, and they all got to play on the square before the bands took the stage, and we're going to continue that tradition in spring and fall for this year. So that was an exciting new development for that event this year. Harvest Festival was huge back in October. We estimate over 25,000 people came downtown for this event on that beautiful fall day in October. And all of these fine folks donated cash to this event to help us bring it to life. The Mint Gaming Hall, Megan Brown, Allstate, Compost Bowling Green. They actually composted all the pumpkin guts that fell from the pumpkin splat that you all see there that the fire department did. Spring Hill Suites Bowling Green, Back Down South, Girl Scouts of Southern Kentucky, the Grace and Peace Presbyterian Church, and Tessevent Consulting and Blue Level Productions did all of our vendor work for food and beverage and craft vendors, and all of our sound and stage and music for Harvest Festival. Scare on the Square is also getting so much bigger this year. It's always the end of October. Thanks to Houchins Food Group, Prestige Nightclub, Copper Bar, Topper Social, Cliffs of Moore, 440, Barbara Stewart Interiors, the Simpson Group, Jonathan Bryant and Lindsay Hinton, the Coven Salon, Mellow Mushroom, Alley Pub and Pizza, and the 30 Bird for donating well over 30,000 pieces of candy for about 5,000 kids to enjoy. And we have, once again, our Silver Sneakers folks and doing the Thriller dance with WKU Theater and Dance. And we have 2 Michael Jacksons in that photo, if you all can spot them. And the Downtown Duck Drop was successful in year 2. We raised over $1,000 just by selling little rubber duck entries that were dropped from a giant Public Works bucket truck, thank you all, at the Fringe. And we had 22 downtown businesses donate over $850 worth of merchandise, gift cards, Bowling Green experiences, and the winner got to enjoy an amazing downtown gift basket and their free Thanksgiving meal thanks to Houchins Food Group as well. Great way to fundraise for events. And last but not least, Light Up Season. Downtown Lights Up was a great event once again this year. It was great weather this time. The Mint Gaming Hall, Blue Level Productions, Tessevent Consulting, and Megan Brown donated to that. And I also want to say a special thank you to Tessa Norris from Tess Events. She donated 400 hours to us last year to make Duncan Hines Harvest Festival and Light Up things happen. And we are grateful for her and her partnership with the City of Bowling Green. And thank you all for continuing to come downtown and support downtown events.
Thank you, Talia.
Just have one more. There will be a need for closed session. Mayor, and I'd like Ashley to read the reason.
Pursuant to KRS 61810-1B, for the purpose of deliberations on the future acquisition of real property by the city, as publicity would likely affect the value of the specific piece of property to be acquired by the city.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. All right, thank you, Mr. Mizel. First item is... First item is approval of minutes from regular meeting, December 16th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Discussion? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Okay, municipal order number 2026-1.
Municipal order approving the promotion of Michael Netherton to the position of crew leader in the Parks and Recreation Department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mrs. Katie Schaller Ward.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I would like to indicate that, obviously, this is a crew leader position. It's a promotion going forward. We had a vacancy due to a transfer to another position. And so I'm going to ask HR Manager Tiara Britt to come forward to present this recommendation.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Commissioners. We would like to make the recommendation for the promotion of Michael Netherton to the crew leader position. He joined the city in 2023 as an external candidate, as a regular facility maintainer too, and then in 2024, he took over as a parks maintenance lead for their entertainment district, which was the first time that we had that position. So he's done extremely well. He has a large background in turf management, and this position will largely be responsible for the Lovers Lane Soccer Complex. So let me know if you have any questions, but we'd love to promote him. And he is not here. He is watching from home this evening, so I just want to let you know.
All right, thank you, Talia. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Michael, we're going to congratulate you. Municipal Order Number 2026-2.
Municipal order approving the career path advancement of David Adams to the position of Operations Maintenance Technician 2 in the Public Works Department.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mrs. Charlotte Ward.
This is a long-standing career path program we've had for, I can't even go back how many years. It's been a long time. And so I would like to ask our Public Works Director, Andy Souza, to come forward to present this recommendation.
Good evening, everyone. David is here tonight, so David, I'm going to ask you to stand up. David joined the city in August of 2024, and since that time, he has knocked out 37 individual sign-off items to allow him to advance to what we're hoping you will approve tonight. That includes operation of some of our heaviest equipment. You already heard Talia talk about the bucket truck used for the duck drop. David can now operate the bucket truck along with our knuckle boom. That's that big claw machine that we have if we have high winds. So he has my highest recommendation. He is one of 2 Army veterans in the Public Works Department. He is here with his Public Works family tonight.
All right, David. Hello, how are you doing tonight? You're the second item of the year. So, all right, let's get it going. Commissioners ready? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, congratulations, David. Municipal Order Number 2026-3.
Municipal order approving the probationary appointments of Trevor Clark, Colin Gregory, Colton Mills, and Adam Roan to the position of Police Cadet 2 in the Police Department.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bailey, second by Commissioner Perigin. Mrs. Charlotte Ward.
The Police Department is gearing up for its next academy coming up, I believe, this spring. So we have some recommendations that HR Manager Lori Gray is going to come forward to present to hire into the department.
Evening, thank you. So I'm here this evening to recommend the appointment of 4 Police Cadet 2s. They are here. I'm going to have them stand. The purpose of this position is because we recruit year-round for the police department. We hire in applicants that pass all of our processes into a Police Cadet 2 to hold a spot until they start the academy. The academy will start in April of this year. The first one that I have on our list today is Colton Mills. If you will raise your hand so that we know who. Okay, there you are. Colton Mills attends Western Kentucky University pursuing a bachelor's degree in organizational leadership, and he is currently a Cadet 1 with the Bowling Green Police Department. Colin Gregory, he attends Western Kentucky University pursuing a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies. He is a current Cadet 1 here at the Police Department also. And then we have Trevor Clark. He graduated from Warren East High School. He's a member of the Kentucky Army National Guard, and his most recent employment was a mechanic assistant at Clark Auto Repair. And then the fourth person is Adam Roan. He graduated from Roan's Homeschooling. His most recent employment was with Quanex Custom Components as a team lead. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Lori.
You're welcome.
Gentlemen, please stay standing. We'll start with Colton. If you brought anyone with you, please introduce them. Speak up. Hello, how are you? And we'll go in the order called.
Sir, this is my parents, Robin and Donna, my sister Rachel, Rick Whitaker and Carter, and this is my girlfriend Alex.
Very nice. All right, from the back.
This is my girlfriend Erica, my mom Angie, dad Jesse, and 2 brothers, Tyler and Trey.
Fantastic.
So this is my wife Zane, my parents, Keith and Sherry, my sister Desiree, my grandparents, and then my in-laws.
Well, y'all did it right. You brought your family because you're joining a family. Your family is going to be praying for you as you're joining this family. So congratulations. You have quite an adventure ahead of you, and I can't wait for y'all to be the first class to be in our new academy. We're quite proud of it, and we'll be proud of you as well. And Commissioners, you all ready, or want to say anything?
Let's make it.
Okay, make it. We're going to do a roll call.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes, congratulations. I think that's all of our personnel actions. So if you all want to go out and celebrate, we'll take a little break here.
Yeah, let's totally do that. Let's plan to do that.
Thank you. Boyfriend one that went to East.
In the very back.
Yes.
Did she wave at you?
You're at Easter. She did, she waved.
That's sweet.
All right, thank you, everybody. Our next item is municipal order number 2026-4.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2026-27 for cancer and cardiac screenings for the fire department from United Diagnostic Services in an amount not to exceed $144,500.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Bailey, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
This is a big day for our Bowling Green Fire Department. As you remember, we did receive an assistance to firefighters grant award recently. And we'd like to put that to work on some cancer and cardiac screenings. I'd like to call Deputy Chief Brett Smith up and give you kind of an overview of what we're looking at with these bids and what we're recommending for the award. Chief?
Good, thank you. Mayor, Commissioners, this is the third time we've come to talk with you about the cancer screening program. The first time we asked for approval to seek a grant, then we asked for approval to accept the grant, and now we're here to ask for approval to award the contract to United Diagnostic Services. As we went through, this was an evaluated bid process. We had two submittals for bids that were both good, but one stood out in the end. This was an evaluated bid. 50% of it was based on the price. The rest of it was based on experience, referrals, qualifications, quality assurance, all those things. And United Diagnostic Services really stood out when we looked at the qualifications of the people that would be providing the screenings, reading the screenings, and then also coming back to us to give the results to the individuals. So the qualifications of the service providers, also their quality assurance and quality control procedures really stood out in a good way. So we're very happy with what they submitted to us. This is a big program for our department. Cancer is an occupational risk for our firefighters, 100%. Not to oversell it, but firefighters are 11% more likely to get cancer, 14% more likely to die from cancer than the general population. And so this is one way that we are addressing this occupational hazard that we deal with. So I appreciate the support that you all have given us in the past, and I anticipate nothing more in the future.
Thank you, Chief Smith. This is an important endeavor, and thanks for bringing this to fruition. Sure.
Questions?
Not really a question, but I echo that for you and the chief that's back there, because I know that you guys, when you volunteer and you choose this profession, you running into danger. And we know that a lot of times when you run into danger, you're going to save a life. And at the time, you're putting your own life at risk. So this is something that's needed. I'm glad that we have it, and anything to kind of help you guys out, because 14%, and you said 11% higher, I wish that was lower, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you running into danger and for everything you guys have done.
Just a question for our community who may not have been here at the last two meetings. Would you just explain, why is it that firefighters, what's the, exposure that they have that makes them more likely to get cancer? And then what are the things that we do, not only to test to see if they have cancer, but what are we doing to prevent them from getting it?
Oh, first of all, I'll answer the second part of that question. We have a very robust cancer prevention program to reduce our exposure, but there's no way to reduce it to zero. You all know, everybody's seen a firefighter with the gear on and the SCBA, breathing the air, but the skin absorption problem, there is no way around the skin absorption that we have to the carcinogens that are in the smoke that are the results of the fire, right? And those have only gotten worse and worse over the last 20 years, the toxins that we're exposed to, and there's no way to get around the skin absorption. We come out immediately and begin to try and clean off. The department has invested in this program to prevent cancer. So it's really those things that we can't get away from, even though we've done everything that we can. We've invested in a second set of turnout gear for our personnel, so we don't have to keep wearing the turnout gear that's been exposed. We can thoroughly clean it, gear washers. So we have a really robust prevention program. But what we need now is something on the back end that, you referred to the hazards that we run into. We've always focused on the short-term hazards, right? Well, what about the long-term hazards of continuous exposure over the course of 10, 15, 20, 25 years? And so what we need now, in addition to prevention, is early detection of something that may be going on inside right now. And we need to catch it early, because early prevention means, a better survivability percentage, right? That's what we're looking for, to protect our people, not just to go home safe at the end of the day, but to go home safe at the end of a career and not have something underneath the surface that's secret, hiding, lurking, that we need to catch it early. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2026-5.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2026-28 for Three Springs Road and Fieldstone Boulevard sidewalks from Baker Contracting LLC in an amount not to exceed $335,730.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
As you know, we received some TAP grant funds to put some sidewalk down on Three Springs Road between Wheatstone and Fieldstone right there across from Fleeland, and went out for bid, and we are recommending Baker Contracting for $335,730. We received this amount in the grant. There was a match of $67,146 required. That we're hoping still to get back from the grant, the GRANT grant program that would reduce even more of our costs, reduce the $67,000. Recommend Baker Contracting though for this stretch of sidewalk along Three Springs Road, and Andy Souza's here, can answer any questions on this one. And I'm sorry. And Nick Lawon, and Nick Cook.
Dream team. We're all here. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Questions? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2026-6.
Municipal order approving a job development incentive program employee withholdings credit agreement with AKFA Aluminum Solutions US LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
I'm going to hand this one off to Katie Shallerward, our Assistant City Manager. Katie?
This is a pretty unique opportunity that we've had. This company, AKFA Aluminum Solutions, comes from Uzbekistan. It is their largest industry in that country. They have decided to locate in Bowling Green for their very first United States facility. They're going to plan on 331 new jobs with an average salary somewhere around $48,000 to $56,000 a year. And they are investing $80 million in capital investment, which is pretty significant. With a credit of a 1% over a 10-year period, they could potentially be able to save $1.58 million toward this project and hopefully toward future expansions and future opportunities to expand.
Thank you, Katie. Exciting news that our chamber has landed and helped bring back to our economy. So, questions? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott?
Yes. Municipal order number 2026-7.
Municipal order authorizing the mayor to execute articles of amendment to Articles of Incorporation of the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc., and restated Articles of Incorporation of Bowling Green ITA, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
Going to attempt to provide a little background on this one. For many months now, the Chamber, the ITA, EDA, a lot of the agencies down there under the big umbrella have been considering, redefining some roles. We feel like the ITA has always been kind of tied to that piece of land up in northern part of the county. And so, but we want the ITA to be much more broader and be in charge of more things with economic development. And so that gave us the idea of looking at the bylaws, and it's good to have the attorney for the ITA, Gaines Penn, here with us tonight, can answer questions on this one. But basically, this is required of the city and the county to approve this amendment to the Articles of Incorporation for the ITA. And so before you tonight is an amendment to Article 1. Basically, all that's in this amendment is a name change, and they'd like to change the name from the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc. to the Bowling Green ITA, Inc. And the ITA, thanks to Mr. Penn, brought a new logo, is now going to stand for Infrastructure, Technology, and Acreage, to broaden our horizon when we need to buy property anywhere in Warren County. This is the instrument that we will use, the ITA, to further develop in our county and provide more economic development. And I'd like to ask Gaines to come up and fill in any gaps you would like to fill in, Gaines, but give us more if there's more there.
Happy to. Good evening, everybody. My name's Gaines Penn. I'm here on behalf of the ITA, which, as you know, short for Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc., which is a mouthful, and we think this name change helps simplify. Everybody's used to the name ITA. We've given it some meaning with those catchphrases that go along with ITA. And Jeff did a great job summarizing the underlying reasons. It's in furtherance of economic development for our community. And as many of you know, sit on this commission or around this room are directly involved with the ITA, and so we thank you all. Any questions?
Thank you, Gaines. Questions?
It's a great idea, but I have to let you know my heart's kind of breaking up here.
I understand.
Since those very beginning days, and Dan Cherry and myself were out selling this project, and Judge Buchanan, I understand the change, but it's hard. It really is. But thank you to everyone that serves on that board now. and for making the Trans Park what it is today.
Thank you for all your hard work many years ago.
We have board meetings often, Melinda, and we refer to you and Dan Cherry, and it's, you know, with great thanks and pride that I serve on that board. And thanks for keeping ITA, because it's just not going to confuse those folks like me and Melinda that, you know, that's just what it's been. And I know Katie's on the board also, and Jeff was, and it's a strong group of people that are really working together to move Bowling Green ahead and do things like the previous item.
Questions? Okay, thank you, Gaines. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2026-8.
Municipal order approving and authorizing out-of-town travel expenses for Mayor Todd Alcott to attend Leadership Kentucky in Lexington, Kentucky.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Thank goodness this is the last time I'll mention this, but I will say this was an investment into me to participate in Kentucky Leadership for the last 7 months. It's been quite an adventure. Some sad news, one of our members, her name was Tatum Dale. You may have seen the news. She worked for Congressman Andy Barr, and she passed away on Christmas Day. She was 34 years of age. She had a rare, the family didn't share everything, but something took her after a surgery she had. But our classmates are actually going Thursday for a final luncheon for all the Kentucky Leadership graduates. Sue's a graduate. She's going to go as
Best
well.
class ever.
We are now. However, it was an adventure of investment of what's happening in our community, in our Commonwealth. And there are incredible things all communities are pulling together, and they were most interested, quite frankly, in what's happening in Bowling Green. You know, we've made the news nationally, we've made the news locally, but we've made the news in the state. And they're wondering how and why, and I got to be your ambassador this past 7 months, and it's what a quite a venture. So thank you for this investment. Thank you for allowing me. We tried to keep expenses low, and I'm just grateful, so thank you. All right, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, ordinance number BG 2025-32, second reading, binding.
Ordinance amending Code of Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 2 Administration, Subchapter 2-17 Human Rights Commission of the City of Bowling Green Code of Ordinances.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. This is our second reading. This was a 5-0 at our last roll call. Any further discussion? None. Roll call, please.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beasley Brown?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Perigin?
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into the presentation of a work session for Parks and Master Plan.
I'd like Brent Belcher to come up and make introductions, if you don't mind, and thank you MKSK for coming today.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brent Belcher. Nice to meet you. I'm Parks Director. Just over a year ago, or November of 24, we came before you guys and appreciate City Manager Meisel and this board approving the recommendation of the Parks and Rec to hire the City of Bowling Green to hire MKSK Studios. We have Andy Knight, who's the president of that of MKSK. He's here, and on the side we got Leon Younger, who is also he's part of Pros Consulting that we got as part of that as well. And I'll turn it over quickly to them. I just want to say thank you to particularly first off we have to say thanks to Haley Parrott. This is her first project as the project manager. This was something that she kind of oversaw for our department, so a big congratulations to her for her work on this. I also want to thank our park staff. It was really an important step for us to ensure that our park staff was highly involved, and we definitely went to multiple levels to ensure our park staff had opportunities to be engaged, and really not just the park staff, the city staff for that matter, to give their input. And then last but not, and certainly not least, I believe you'll see through Andy's presentation, the residents of our city and visitors of our city, everywhere from first graders to senior citizens and everyone in between, everywhere from a special event to the water park to basketball games to all different forms of opportunities and ways to be involved. And it shows in the results, and we're proud to have this in front of you and excited to reveal this to the public today. So thank you, and I'll turn it over to Andy.
Thank you, Brent. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting us and putting us on the agenda. We're really excited, Mayor and Board of Commissioners, to be in front of you all and the public as well. This is a plan for everyone in Bowling Green. As Brent mentioned, we started this process about this time last year. And the staff, the community, the leadership has allowed it to get to this point. These plans can take a long time to work on. And it's a very efficient process when you can do it within a 12-month period of time. So kudos to everyone in the process that we worked with, and we'll share some of that engagement that we had along the way. As you can see, there were several different tasks, so it was a very thorough process from gathering data, information. We had 2 engagement opportunities, one early on in the process to learn and to understand, and then 2 to test ideas and to develop themes that were emerging that we were hearing through both data and conversations with the community. You can see a "we are here" moment there. We're actually obviously a little bit beyond that, but we're kind of at the closure. We've got roughly a 300-page document that's got the full master plan and then an appendix. A lot of content in there, very rich with information and things that we feel excited about in terms of moving BGPR forward for the next decade. Community engagement, those 2 opportunities that we had, both in the early portion of the project and later on, we engaged over 2,500 different people through a variety of different ways throughout this project. We work with communities throughout the Midwest and the country. 2,500 for a population of Bowling Green is actually, for a population like Lexington, is extremely well. So the passion in this community really has shown in this project, and we're really excited about that. We did this through a variety of different ways. We had multiple community meetings. We did it through stakeholder roundtables, which we'll share some more detail about these. We also had a dedicated website that's still live right now, but a lot of the content on there, like the survey, is inactive now. We've closed that. But folks can still go and get an understanding of what a Parks and Rec master plan is, and understand the schedule for the project. We also had community events. The staff for BGPR was heavily involved in this project. There were so many events that the consultant team couldn't attend all of them. And so we leaned on the staff, and it was great. They were passionate about it, and it built that trust with the community. We had community survey. We had that live for about 6 weeks. We had 533 responses to that, which is pretty amazing. That was in addition to a statistically valid survey that we had. I mentioned statistically valid survey. I failed to mention Pros Consulting, who is one of our other consultants on the team. We've got Leon Younger here. He's going to step up and join me here in a few minutes to talk about some of the recommendations. And then we had ETC Institute, who was on our team, who does statistically valid surveys nationwide. And then community participation through all the different events that we've been to, through Post-it notes and the Dotmocracy exercise where you put a dot on your favorite picture. We had over 5,500 different touch points with people there. So all of this, to say that it's a very much a community and a data-driven project. We collected a ton of data through GIS and the census and all sorts of outlets that Pros Consulting uses, in addition to the community. So I mentioned community events from the community fairs, youth basketball games, Parker Bennett Curry Field Day. There were a lot of great opportunities that the BGPR staff went and led and set up booths and really got the conversation going with the community. We also had 3 public meetings. Two of those were at the convention center. The first one was at the convention center. I believe, Mayor, you had our kind of kickoff presentation for that. Really well attended, had some great feedback on several interactive stations. And that was a great opportunity for us to really ask some critical questions and get some great feedback. We also had a Duncan Hines Festival booth set up where we had over 250 people. I think the title of this slide says 150 plus. It's actually around 300 plus altogether. But we had over 230 based on the counting that we did internally and with BGPR. Haley did a lot of the counting for us. Great turnout there, really energetic community. And of course, the swag that the staff had to hand out to people really encouraged them to have that discussion with us. We're really excited about that. And then we just had our final community meeting to share some of the recommendations and those emerging themes, and which we'll start to jump into here in a couple of slides. We also had, I mentioned the online survey. This was available on our website. There were multiple links through BGPR's website, our dedicated bgprmasterplan.com website. So really great responses there. Stakeholders, there may be some in the room here who were a part of the stakeholder meetings. This was a chance for us to talk to some specialized individuals within the community, smaller groups, more roundtable discussions. You can see there we had 6 different groups from local tourism, nonprofits, Bowling Green staff, sports leagues, neighborhoods association, planning commission. Really got a full picture from those individuals who were key contributors to the project. And there's some screen captures from those virtual meetings. A lot of those were virtual. We did do some in person as well. The statistically valid survey, this is different than just the regular survey. I kind of categorize the regular survey as more of a questionnaire. This is a statistically valid survey, meaning that it goes out randomly to a cross-section of the population of the city of Bowling Green. And we continue to do that until we get representation from a lot of different categories, including zip code, race, economic backgrounds. And it allows us to get a really good picture of how people perceive the parks. What do people need? Where are we falling short with the parks? That allowed us to develop what we're calling this priority investment rating, which I'll show you in the next slide. And there's high priority, medium priority, and low priority within that. And there's more detail within the plan that I'm not going to go too far into detail on that here at the podium, but invite you to look at that in the plan itself. On the slide here, text is a little bit small, but essentially what I'll share with you, the green across the top talks about facilities and amenities, and then the more golden or yellow color at the bottom talks about programs and activities. The box to the left, to the far left, is unmet needs. So based upon the amount of surveys that we got, 503, and the estimated households within the city limits, which is over 26,000 households, we're looking at swimming pools. There's an unmet need within 12,000 of those households. Swimming pools meaning indoor or outdoor. Multi-use hiking, biking, walking trails, 11,000 plus households, and environmental nature education centers. That's just under 11,000. Now, when we combine that with the top 4 important, so we asked the community, of these facilities, which are the most important to you? And so we heard number 1, multi-use hiking, biking, walking trails. That's typically the number 1 facility or amenity within all the parks that we work on. That's not surprising. Access to nature. Shade and trees came in at number 2. Playgrounds, play spaces came in at number 3. And then large community parks came in at number 4. Just underneath that at 19% were swimming pools. So we don't have it up there in the top 4, but it's just right there, just below that. And then when I mentioned that priority investment rating, when you cross those two, it starts to put together a ranking of priority investments. And at the top of that is continue to work on hiking and biking trails. Find opportunities for swimming pools. We heard a lot about indoor swimming opportunities within our community engagement and our discussions with stakeholders. Shades and Trees, Environmental and Nature Education Center, the scale of that we're still exploring, and then restrooms. Below that's the program. You can see outdoor, there's a lot of crossover between these two, between facilities and programs. I will note on these that the adult fitness and wellness programs, while it was ranked really high, the community would like to see more of those. I think especially as we're seeing population age, those programs are really, really sought after and really well attended. So once we worked on all of the data collection and understanding and conversations, we start to see these themes emerging, which in our minds starts to translate into recommendations. What you see here on the screen right now is essentially the process and the contents of the full report. It's a fairly robust report with a lot of graphics and a lot of text. Happy to address any questions that you all may have about that. But what I want to talk about are these recommendation themes. These are the 10. We have 10 recommendations within the plan. Within those recommendations, there are actions. So we've got 10 themes, 64 action items. And then within that, we've got short-term, mid-term, and long-term. We wanted to assign a duration to these to give you guys some goals. Short-term, 0 to 1 years. These are some quick things, upgrade of current facilities, patching existing facilities, all things that were ranked really high with the community. That's one of the things that we heard, is that the condition of the facilities and the care that they're in right now was ranked really high. It's excellent. So I want to continue that. Midterm, we're looking at about 2 to 5 years, and then long-term actions 5 to 10. These are in no particular order. These are just the way that we started developing these, but enhanced connectivity is something that we heard a lot from the community, that yes, they knew where parks were, but often they were driven by the vehicle. They wanted to see better opportunities and safer opportunities to bike and walk to parks. We'll talk about this on the next slide. The Trust for Public Lands is a not-for-profit that does a lot of data collection on cities, and they have a park score, which basically allows you to understand how many, what percentage of your population is within a 10-minute walk from their front door to a park. 10-minute walk. 40% of the population within the city of Bowling Green, that's the ranking, or not the ranking, but the percentage. And that could be increased. So connectivity, safe access. Maintain and improve, I just mentioned the high level of quality of the parks. Continue to do that. Continue to maintain at a high level and improve where it makes sense and it's appropriate. And these are the small, they're small. These are the maps that I wanted to share, talking about that park score. So you might be able to see that on your screen, and we can provide this presentation. I think you all already have it if you want to look at that a little further. And you can go to Trust for Public Lands to take a look at that information. Create awareness. We also did receive feedback from the community that they didn't take part in programs or facilities because they weren't aware of them. It's not a huge percentage, but it's enough that we made notice of it. And so one of the things that we wanted to recommend, or we do recommend in the plan, is to work on the marketing and the communication to the community through a variety of different outlets. Possibly creating a standalone website for the Parks and Rec Department, thinking about branding and content to improve communication. So that's create awareness. Expand the geographic reach. I think one of the timely needs for this Parks and Rec master plan is the continued growth of Bowling Green. I think it goes without saying that it's one of the, if not the fastest growing city in the Commonwealth. And we need to think about that. So continuing to deliver to that growing population within the city limits as well. So thinking about acquisition, or we'll talk about partnerships later on, the opportunity to leverage partnerships to expand the geographic reach. Promote BGPR. This is talking about it being a regional destination. Certainly we want to make sure that we're checking all the boxes for the residents of Bowling Green first and foremost. But the opportunity to promote BGPR as a destination as well at a regional scale. Are some things in the works. Whitewater Park, for example, is one of those that begins to put the park system on a regional, if not larger scale than that. And so things like that are within that recommendation. Foster natural spaces. You all saw the shades and trees, the nature center, the walking, jogging paths. Have that connection to the outdoor, to nature, and continue to think about what nature is within the parks. You know, there's a lot of mown grass, the opportunity to make some of these spaces maybe more naturalized for, you know, a lot of different reasons, in addition to just creating habitat and that connection to nature. I'm going to invite Leon Younger up here to talk about the next 4 recommendations.
Okay.
Got that?
Number 7 is really to continue to invest in new facilities to address gaps. People want more of what you have, and they, especially when it comes to sports fields, trails, indoor spaces, pools. And as you're a growing community, the need doesn't go away, it just gets enhanced. And the important thing here is to recognize that this is an economic tool for your community. People love the parks and they love the city, and part of that is how do we create the kind of spaces that people really will want to continue to use, but also appreciate living here and the quality of life. 8 is basically enhanced programming to educate, inspire, and delight residents of all ages. Programs activate spaces. So when people come to a park that's self-directed, I can run, walk, bike, but I can also take part in a program service, I can learn a skill, and I can also be a part of a team, I can be part of a group of people rather. And the big thing about programming, it really serves all ages. So everybody from 2 to 80 plus are involved in services, and so it's the best way to connect your community is through program services, and part of that is activation. And in the survey, as Andy had basically outlined, there were a lot of areas that the community wants to continue to see the department thrive in, but also really manage best practice management for program services for the future. Strengthen partnerships. You have a lot of partnerships already. Biggest thing is about partnerships is making them equitable. And so many times partners, it's easy for partners to take advantage of cities. Believe me, I see it all the time. And the biggest thing is as long as they're equitable and they're fair, they really work well. And I know the person that was up here who presented all the various partnership, sponsorship opportunities was great. But that's what really makes a great city is when partners are involved because they see themselves in your plan and they also want to activate and be a part of the success of it. But there are public-public partnerships, public not-for-profit and public-private, and the ability to manage each one of those separately really was called out in this plan is how to do that equitably, but also in a fair manner. And then operational preparedness. You know, you've got a great staff, you've got a hungry staff, you have people who really want to make this their career. And through the various elements that you have, the CAPR accreditation it's a tool like the police department and the fire departments. They have accredited programs, and park systems do too. And this is an area that the city really and the staff really wants to thrive in, where they want to be accredited as well as on the same page as other agencies within the city It really demonstrates their value, best practices, their standards, and the way they implement and go about their business. Oh, boy, that's me. Gee whiz. Sorry about that. So we just talked about the CAPRA accreditation, but all I can tell you is that this is tough to get. There are about 12,000 park systems in the United States, and there's only about 600 accredited. So it's not easy to get, and it's every 5 years. But once you get it, it demonstrates to your community and to the council and to the leadership in the city that you've got a department that is thinking that they want to be a best practice agency and really lines up for a gold medal agency as well for the future for NRPA. And I'd really encourage you to really support that. Andy?
In closing, we've got 2 more slides. In closing, implementation and next steps. You can see here, this is an example from the master plan document that shows the recommendations and then the action items down below them. So the action items will show a timeline, potential partners within that, and then we also put a column in there for the CAPRA item. What does it address? And making sure, and we worked hard with Brent and Haley and staff on making sure that this plan set you all up in a really good position for that CAPRA accreditation. So in closing, next steps. Got a work session in a couple of days with, I guess that's with, yeah, that's tonight. Sorry. So that's tonight, that's the 6th. January 20th, final recommendation for formal adoption, and then plan adoption, implementation, and then CAPRA accreditation after that. So thank you for the time. Very honored to be here. I had enjoyed this project. We're also working on the riverfront, so we'll be here for a while as well, and really excited about the things to come for Bowling Green. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. It's been quite a year, you know, with this and the other entity that the county is going to share with us what BG can be is powerful data. And that data is, you know, consumer driven by our customers, which are our citizens. And that's most important, to understand what they want from us, you know, and this is that surveying, those sessions, the ability for the community to input. And I'm wanting to see a crossover, a layover of those 2 entities, because people don't really understand whether it's a county park or a city park or a county greenway or a city greenway. What they care about is they have the quality service and products that, you know, are there in their community. And we want to enhance those in the right way, and we want to make sure we're putting our value in the right products and services in our investments. So this is important information. I know that the riverfront development's been around for over 20 years, you know, maybe even longer than that. I think I will get acknowledgement that there's been citizens wanting something there, and I think we have the right thing now, and I think we're on our way. But there's other things that our community is demanding and wanting, and this will help us decipher those right ways. Commissioners?
Well, I'm just really excited. I know those first meetings, meeting with the community and how passionate they were about our parks. I mean, I just think it just is so wonderful that our community is so engaged and just so excited and passionate about, you know, the ways that we can make our city even better for future generations. And I know so many of them are going to be excited that a swimming pool has made it to the final plan. And yeah, I'm just excited for our community that I think it's important that when you take the time to give your input and share what you would like to see our city do, and then you see it reflected in the plans. It's really important for community trust. And so thank you for really listening to our citizens and putting together this really incredible plan to make sure that we are growing in a way that really helps to meet our citizens' needs and to increase quality of life. And just so many of the things that you mentioned are just really, really exciting and just spot on to what, you know, I was hearing from our citizens and what they were wanting to see. So I'm really excited about digging in even further about how these things are going to happen. And I do have a quick question. I've been looking for the 0 to 1 list, 0 to 1 year list, and then the 2, and I didn't see
May
that
not
in
be
the whole.
published. It's not in the presentation.
Got it.
And
Okay.
it should be somewhere in the master plan. I know internally that's what we've been referencing, but if it's
Okay.
not in there, we can certainly add that.
And then will this document that you gave us that has the whole plan in it already on our website, or will it be after we adopt it?
It's not, I don't think it's on the website yet.
I'll answer your first question. It is part of the master plan.
Okay,
I'll
it
show
is.
it for the television at home.
It
right?
is?
It's
Do you know
here.
what page it is?
It's roughly 189.
Got it. Okay.
It lists that is short, medium, and long term, and this will be available on the website after adoption. After that adoption, and then as it goes, I think it's a good time to mention that because of accreditation, that's obviously our professional level that we want to reach. The website, the master plan website that Andy alluded to, that'll become a city website, and that'll be something that we'll continually update as projects and or programs or whatever happens with this master plan is implemented and new things come out, if that makes sense. So the master plan at this point will evolve, right? So it will start here, and we'll have this master plan in 5 years through Haley and some of our staff that will continue updating that process. So.
You have 2 follow-up questions. Where in the timeline do you think a indoor swimming pool would be?
Tomorrow. That's a great question. We're getting ready to go through the budget process now, but I think I'll play it safe and just say we have some big dreams, and it's just laying those dreams out through the Parks Department, through the city, of how, when, and the best time to act on that. But I think there's some opportunities for us to reimagine, if you will, some current spaces that we have for that, and to serve our community in the best possible way. But there'll be a time and place, and hopefully through the budget processes, either now and in the future, we'll hopefully have that answer for you.
Okay. And the last question I had was, the only part that was a little bit vague, that was a top priority, was the nature and environmental educational space. So like what does that mean?
If I'm honest with you, that's probably the nature and shade trees and things was something that, as Andy mentioned, going into this, it's pretty standard that trails are always your number one kind of thing on a master plan to come out. People love trails, they love shelters, they love picnics. But that was something we really didn't anticipate, or at least I didn't really anticipate seeing. And to be honest with you, that could mean a lot. To one person, Kariakis Trail is a nature trail. Another person, Croom Park is a nature trail. So some of that's an eye of the beholder, right? Jennings Creek, which Cameron led us to some, that's a nature park. So some of that could be in the eye of the beholder, but it is definitely meaning that the public is definitely interested in us providing more nature opportunities. I think it can mean a lot of things. I think there's a part of it that to some people, Mammoth Cave is nature, right? And that's obviously it is. But to others, I don't know, Kariakis once again could be as well. But I think it puts us in a position that I think as the citizens know that our community is growing, they want to make sure that their nature is protected, if I can put quotes in that growth, that we manage to keep green space available, to keep nature space available. And I would answer that to say in a lot of different ways. It could be as simple as shade trees, or it could be more of a naturalistic, who knows, it might be another, it could be a place for us to do educational classes and things that we're not currently doing as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for us in the future to answer that question.
Thank you so much. It's really exciting, and like I said, I'm just grateful that it really was a community endeavor where our whole community came together to put this plan to life, and just seeing the pictures and the ideas of how we're going to expand our parks for the next 10 years is just really exciting. So thank you to everybody who worked on it. I really appreciate it.
It's a labor of love, right? And it's something that I say that as far as the public goes, there's a lot of passion that comes out when these people, they love their parks we know the truth. Parks are part of the quality of life, and it's the highlight of people's day, and it's something that they look forward to every day. We think we create memories every day. We just don't know it, right? Because we don't know when it's creating that person's memory, which is fine. That's what we think our job is.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the excellent report. It is very exciting. call me negative Nancy or realist, I don't know which way you want to call, but something that concerned me in this report was 40% of our citizens have a 10-minute walk to a park. Don't name any property now that we could possibly buy to increase that percentage because that price is going to go up. But the city of Bowling Green's landlocked. How can we improve that percentage with what we have? Do you all see that possible?
Yes, maybe you were referencing greenways and that sort of, infrastructure opportunity. There's also the opportunity, the largest collection of open spaces in any city are the streets, and improving the quality of the streets, better sidewalks, more generous sidewalks, greener shaded sidewalks, better crosswalks. That's one way to make, using existing infrastructure to do that without acquiring new property. So there are ways of doing that, and that also takes the partnerships that we were talking about. Streets and roads may not be in Parks and Rec, and it might be an opportunity for the two to come together.
May I ask you this? Going back to what Brent said, I think parks are very, very important. It's weird that you talked about you never know when you create a memory. My wife and I were having a conversation last night, and we used to barbecue, and I would take like these index cards, and I would study for the bar. Well, not the bar, but I would study for my law exams, and she'll be helping me while we're barbecuing in the middle. And that's a memory that was more than 20 plus years ago, but it was a memory. But going to Melinda's thing, I actually wrote her down like 40% in a 10-minute walk. Is it possible to create like micro parks for it could be there for some communities? Because do we have enough land to do that?
Plazas, pocket parks, there's opportunity within the urban areas to do that. There's, Leon's over here talking about schools and, thinking through some of the existing inventory that you all may have in different and more creative ways. So there certainly are ways to increase that percentage. Right now, what that database measures is what's quote unquote a park within a system, not just green space or an open lawn, but I think there are ways to increase that. There are no cities that are at 100%. I think the highest in the Commonwealth of Kentucky might be Lexington, which is 57 maybe percent. So Minneapolis might be in the 70%, most robust park system in the country. But yeah, I mean 40% is not detrimental, but I think there's a lot of room to improve.
Andy, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I piggyback on that? Did you all incorporate or take into consideration all of the school properties with playgrounds that are nestled in neighborhoods? Because if you were to factor those in, wouldn't this go up as well?
Especially if they have a school park designation.
Because most of our schools school playgrounds are left open to the public to use, city and county, and just curious about whether that was taken into consideration as well.
Stole my question, Jeff.
Sorry.
No, thank you.
Yeah, there's in the needs assessment, in the inventory of all the opportunities, I think a lot of that's accounted for. Some of it may not be underneath the operations and maintenance of BGPR, but in terms of what's offered, you don't want to be too redundant with playgrounds. You want to make sure there's a good cross-section of offerings. So taking those into account in our data collection was a part of that, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. To continue on, between now and the 20th, I do want to see how we can improve this 40%. That's my biggest concern. And CAPRA, we are not accredited yet. We do not have that, correct? And we want to do that, Brent?
Yes, ma'am. That'll be an out year, because that will not be a one-year venture for us. All right, that's a highly you have to prepare in a lot of different chapters, and so think of an encyclopedia. You have to knock those chapters off as time goes on. So it'll take some time, but yes, that's our ultimate goal.
2 questions in regard to that. Do you have the staff to get that done?
Yes, we have the staff right now as far as to be CAPRA accredited. There's no reason. What does
Do that
happen
in
with
addition to their current responsibilities?
100%, it says professional standards. As they mentioned, that just sets the professional standards that we're looking for, right, to set. So that really just standardizes our operations of how we do things. But with that said, I will say that becoming accredited, that is not a race that ends, because then you have to be reaccredited. So that does take staff time, right? That's not a one-person thing. So as far as the department goes, to get the job duties done to become accredited 100%, we have staff now, and that's an evolving thing. But that new venture will take staff time. That we may, who knows how much time and where we're looking at for some of that to be there.
And then my final question, you go through this whole process, you get accredited, does that open you all up for possible grant funding? Does that help?
It won't hurt us.
Okay,
I'll put it that way. It will not hurt us. And then when you become accredited, the other thing to keep in mind is one of the ultimate goals by any city government is be efficient and effective. And that's what accreditation is setting the standard for, right? It sets the guidelines for our department to be the most effective, efficient operation possible and how we're delivering our services. So, I'll put it that way, whether it's grants or whether it's the use of the city tax dollars, whether it's the opportunity to partnership with money that's not necessarily we see now, whether it's sponsorships that may be around, that doesn't really come from accreditation, but it does not hurt you, right? It only helps in that ability to find those opportunities.
Thank you so much, and good luck on that.
Brent, I'm going to say a few words here, if you don't mind. Making memories is true. I had my 3-year-old and 18-month-old grandkids for almost a week last week, and the parks were very important to our successful week that we had. Great way to recreate little ones. But I used to do the presentation with the dollar quite often, and remind me, is it 14 cents? Right. And I know that changes just a little bit.
We're always ahead of Public Works because,
Yeah, I understand that.
Just to let you
I
know,
do
anytime
understand.
that dollar's there, we'll
but
always
substantially
be 1 or 2 cents ahead of Public Works,
But
right?
substantially behind public safety, which
That's right. Well,
obviously
we
has
don't
to be
talk
number
about
one.
those guys too much
But
in
the
Greenville.
quality of life, 14 cents of every dollar, of every taxpayer dollar that comes into City Hall
That's right.
gets allocated towards parks. So it's not, confusing to me or surprising, I guess I would say, scratch confusing, not surprising that the community is interested. They're interested in how their taxpayers are going to benefit them. And that's what this is all about. That's what we're doing here, is trying to craft budgets that's going to take care of safety, quality of life issues, things, infrastructure, and yeah, I mean, I care where 14 cents out of my taxpayer dollar goes, and I think we do a pretty good job of doing that as I'm thinking about the recommendations and, the trees and the paths and greenways and just the amount of money that we put into the quality of life is extraordinary to me. I would say 14 cents of every dollar is probably a pretty good little number as compared.
Should be 16, but we're trying to get there.
Well,
Just kidding.
you keep trying, okay? But what I'm trying to say is, as compared to other communities our size, I'll bet that's a pretty good number.
100% it is. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure
Yeah,
that folks
and-
know that just this presentation and all these recommendations doesn't mean that for all the years that we have been supporting parks and the city and quality of life initiatives, that we're falling behind.
Oh, no, that's all right. Another reason why
Clarifying.
we thought it was an important timing for this master plan was we all know this reality, the public knows this reality, our city is growing,
Yes.
right? That is something that every city in this state would trade places with us in a second, in my opinion,
Mine too.
okay? But there is a challenge with that too, right? For every service that we offer in this city, how do we maintain those level of services and continue those level of services? Our Parks Department, our Public Works, our NCS, our police, our fire, every one of us, Jeff and you guys and the board have those sort of answers to go, right? So it's not an ending battle. That's what this master plan, we hope, prepares us for, is how to continue to offer the highest level of services as we continue to grow.
I agree. And on top of that, what I think, I just want to educate the public a little bit about what this means. What does that 14 cents mean? Well, as we just announced tonight, another 331 jobs come into town with $50-something thousand. That's occupational tax. That comes into the city coffers. And that 14 cents out of every bit of that increases goes to enhance the quality of parks. So we're not operating with the same amount to be able to contribute to these wish list items, which will become a reality once we put it into a plan moving forward. So it's not like we're using the same 14 cents that we're bringing in today
Yeah.
as we are in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So rest assured that we're not borrowing to do this. We're actually creating opportunities, jobs, those kinds of things, which create taxes, where our property values are going up. We're growing, so more people are coming here. So it's all a positive thing, and it's all doable.
I say one thing about the parks as a whole, and this is city and county as a whole, right? Because the city and county have a vibrant parks departments. Both
Absolutely.
entities do. One reason we're growing is because of that quality of life. Parks is not the only reason that quality of life is there.
Big part of it.
But the draw of that quality of life is a reason why people come here. I think it's a premier reason. Others may not, but I believe it's one of the premier reasons people, I think it's jobs, I think it's schools, and I think parks are right there as well.
And public safety.
100%.
That's right.
That's right.
Without that, we don't have a park.
So, we can't have a park, you don't have a road. This is how our government works, right? If you don't have a road connectivity to the park, you can't get there. Or a sidewalk, bike lane, that sort of thing, you can't get there. Police and fire don't make it safe, it won't matter. And then the park is there to improve the quality of life. NCS builds these quality parks for us, do grants and things.
That's all I wanted to say for the public to understand how this stuff gets funded, where, the 14 cents isn't the same. It'll be 14 cents, probably, maybe 15, but there's going to be a lot more.
22 cents.
Excuse me, 22 cents. You have increased by 8 cents over. That's crazy. But there's more people.
It's not crazy, it's a great place to be.
That's 8 cents.
You know why it is? Because of Riverfront. So that's why we went up, to be honest with you.
Is that what it is?
That's a true statement.
Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you.
So to put a bow on this, thank you all very much for this presentation. It's very comprehensive, and we really appreciate it. But I guess my question to the board is, what we had planned was to put this on the agenda for the 20th for a formal adoption, and then follow up on our all-day strategic planning meeting on the 22nd with a little deeper dive into the action plans to see what you guys really wanted to tackle and possibly start looking at in the FY27 budget. So, Commissioner, if you would rather have more information on the 10-mile 40% rule, we could probably hold off and try to work on that some more with staff, or talk about that more at on the 22nd.
I personally would like to see it reversed, Jeff. I would love to have this on the working session before we actually vote on it.
Okay, and we'll have an hour, 2 hours or more on the 22nd to really dig into this. What I would ask, though, is for you all to read this document. It's lengthy, but it's packed full of stuff that we need to know. It's got a lot of good data as far as what the trends are with the programming and all that kind of stuff. So be prepared to talk about all that on the 22nd, and then maybe we can take a vote on this the first meeting in February.
Jeff, has the county given us any information on what BG could be data?
I have not seen that yet.
I think we should put that request.
I think
again,
that's February,
one
March.
One of my asks was to have both those things.
Okay.
Because I think it'd be irresponsible personally to ignore all that wonderful information and input on the largest town hall in America, and to just take that and ignore that information. I think these two pieces of information are important. It's, our county government had us participate with that, and I think
I agree, Mayor.
it'd be irrelevant to miss that, or it would be malfeasant.
And it would be helpful to me as well, because I'm looking at, the short term, midterm, long term, and it's not linear in terms of it doesn't go short term, midterm. So it'd be helpful for me looking at our strategic planning session to be able to have it linear. So if there's a way to do it that way.
It's listed by recreation, by
Right.
themed,
Well,
not
even
by
in
time.
the
by-
theme,
yeah.
even it doesn't
I
go
see what you're
short to
saying. Yes, ma'am.
long. It kind of bounces around inside each theme.
I understand, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at this again, study up for next couple
We don't
weeks.
have to, put it on a date. We can
Right.
continue to work on this.
Right. But we'll probably go ahead and pay MKSK for their work. We won't hold that up, but we'll bring this back to you. Is that okay?
Okay. This concludes our working session. We're going to check to see if there's anyone who wants to make public comment. Thank you, Mrs. Jackson. Okay, we have Mark Davis would like to talk to us. Hello, Mr. Davis. Mr.
Is there a
Davis,
time
you're
limit
going to
for-
get 5 minutes, up to
Okay.
5. I'll let you know 3, 2, 1. How about,
Okay, well, I'm gonna start my timer anyway, so.
I got you at 5:50 right now.
Okay, thanks for allowing me to talk to you. I want to say that I do appreciate all the parks and stuff. That's not part of my, but I'll lead into it. I do appreciate all the parks and the facilities. When I was principal at Greenwood High School, my teams used it. When my children were small, they used it. So there's a lot of people that take advantage of it. Me personally, I don't think I can walk 30 minutes and reach any park. I live in Cross Ridge, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. I just want to walk safely in my subdivision. There are no sidewalks in my subdivision. I have to wear a fluorescent vest to keep from getting hit, and that has not stopped me from diving into the grass. The man that was right here just a second ago, he said, aging population. Well, that's me. I turned 70 in 4 days, okay? And a 70-year-old man cannot dodge a 4,000-pound car very easy. I have barely gotten out of the way when they turn the curve in Cross Ridge, turning on the ridge side, and I live on what you all know, and everybody in Bowling Green, and even people outside of Bowling Green know is the cut-through, okay? Mowing the yard just here the other day, finishing up, 12 minutes to mow my front yard, 62 cars passed. I counted them. Every time I made a turn, I was watching cars pass. Took me a minute and a half to back out of my driveway this morning, okay? I don't expect you all to stop the traffic because the cut-through was created years ago, and you say, well, why did you move in that house? When I moved in that house, the cut-through didn't exist. They cut the fence row up, opened up section 4, and then everybody and their brother found the cut-through, okay? Now, this is 2026, and I moved there in 1998. How many people were in Bowling Green in 1998? How many? 50,000. How many people are in Bowling Green now? All right, Bowling Green, Warren County. Okay, where do they all live? In the south end. That's where all the buildings have been going. That's all the people that cut through my neighborhood. Okay, so I've started wearing the vest. I've still had to dive in the grass. They disregard the stop signs. They speed in front of my house because you put one of the little machines up on Louise Shontop, which is my next door neighbor, and to put the machine up. Well, I sit out there and watch it. They turn the corner doing 25 or 30 miles an hour because they don't stop at the stop sign. They run up in the grass of my neighbor 2 doors down, and then I watch them speed up so they can set the machine off because it flashes blue and red when you get 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. All right, so needless to say is speeding and disregarding of the traffic. Now, I want to thank the police, especially Ethan Jackson, I think, Sergeant Decker. I've talked to him 2 or 3 times. He's been good to get a person, the shift commander, to get people to come in there. But I'll promise you, you do not have enough police officers to do my neighborhood. The traffic coming through there is is nonstop. Now, the best time to do it, it used to be the worst time, was when people were going to work and coming home from work, okay? And that was the absolute best time now, because they have to slow down because there's so many of them. They have to stop at the stop signs. But in other words, when they flow through there, it's absolutely, it's horrible. So that's what I'm here.
For a minute.
I understand. That's what I'm here for tonight, is to get some help. There are no sidewalks again in there. The streets are really wide. I've seen cars racing down through there. I hear them racing on Campbell Lane, and my comment to Sergeant Decker was, I can't expect you to police Cross Ridge. And he said there was 11 or 12 officers on any shift, and it was really hard. And he said, and I said, I can't expect you to police Cross Ridge when you can't police Campbell Lane, because I hear them racing on Campbell Lane nightly, because I sit out nightly, even on the cold nights. And I got about 20 seconds. I want to thank Miss Hill. I've called Miss Hill. She's tried to help me some by putting me in direction. I've talked to Miss Jackson. This is the face here that you and I talked to. So I will come back. I won't be back next meeting, but I'll be back the following meeting and to hear what you have and you can do in my subdivision to keep me from getting run over. I can't keep dodging 4,000-pound cars. I'm 70 years old, or will be in 4 days. So.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Appreciate your time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our meeting. Thank you.